Topping the news at noon this afternoon, we'll learn the name of the lucky person who bought a $768 million Powerball ticket from this gas station in New Berlin. And the UW Marching Band is introducing its new director, set to take the podium this summer.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Tuesday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit, but first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Cloudy start to the day, but now the sun's out.
Yeah, here comes the sun, absolutely clearing skies across much of Wisconsin. In fact, this is a live look at high resolution Doppler right now, and as opposed to 24 hours ago when showers and storms were in the area, we are now all clear. Those showers and storms really moving out of much of the upper Midwest towards parts of southeastern Canada, and that's where that's going to stay. High pressure will remain in control for us. Look at this shot. All the cloud cover now out of the sky as we watch the drier air filter in, and most of that cloud cover work its way towards the south. Here's the Edgewater sky camera right now. Temperatures are mild as well. 56 right now, winds coming out of the north at 12 miles per hour. Other 50s showing up, 58 in Lone Rock, 60 as you work your way over towards Boscobel. But other than them, just about all of us are in the 50s here across southern Wisconsin. And we're going to see those temperatures warm up a couple more degrees. Expect those highs around 64 today with continued decreasing cloud cover. We're talking a clear night, Mark, with lows that are going to fall into the upper 30s. But then after we go through a couple of quiet days, we have a very active pattern getting ready to take shape. That's what I'm going to be breaking down as we get ahead to main weather.
All right, we'll take a breath today.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Chris, see you in a few minutes. New at noon, the UW Marching Band is passing the baton onto a new director for the first time in 5 decades. After a national search, the UW has selected Corey Pompey to replace Mike Leckrone. Pompey has been serving as the Associate Director of Bands at the University of Nevada, Reno. In a news release, the director of the UW School of Music says he was selected for his deep musicianship and his infectious enthusiasm on the podium. Pompey starts July 20th. Governor Tony Evers says that he will veto a Republican-authored bill that could send doctors to prison for life if they don't give medical care to babies born after a failed abortion. Some abortion right advocates are saying the proposal leaves a false impression that the extremely rare scenario is common. Anti-abortion advocates say one time is too many. Evers says he won't sign the bill because of existing protections and criminal penalties in state law. Evers says the Republican-backed bill was introduced to, quote, create division. And the governor also says that he will not endorse a Democratic presidential candidate before the primary. He says it's because the field is so large, and with Milwaukee hosting the Democratic National Convention in 2020, the governor says he'll serve as ambassador for Wisconsin and will appear with the candidates if they want him there, but he will not endorse anyone. To the nation's capital, some Democrats, including presidential candidates, say Congress should begin impeachment proceedings against President Trump. Special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation outlined 10 different incidents that could be viewed as evidence of obstruction of justice. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's not ready to call for impeachment. President Trump has repeatedly brushed off talk of impeachment. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments today over a question about U.S. citizenship the Trump administration wants to include in the 2020 census. The government argues that including the question will help enforce the Voting Rights Act, while critics say the question will deter non-citizens from filling out the census, resulting in a massive undercount.
He wants to know who's in this country, and I think as a sovereign nation, we have that right. It's been a question that's been on the census for decades. But we'll wait and see how the Supreme Court rules.
That is the reason why they include this famous question about citizenship, because they know that people of color, immigrants, are going to be scared about that.
The census count determines how many members of Congress will represent each state and where the government sends billions of dollars in federal funding. One government estimate says that 6.5 million people would avoid answering the census if the citizenship question is included. Progress is continuing at a favorite hangout spot on Madison's east side. We're taking a look at a time-lapse video of the construction at Olbrook Botanical Gardens over the past few months. This morning, crews started to pour the concrete for the foundation on the $12 million project. The expansion is the first in almost 20 years for the gardens. The new improvements will include a new learning center and an energy-efficient greenhouse, along with more space for flowers and plants. Work is expected to wrap up by September. More local news now. The Farmers Market on the Square is a Madison favorite that's been drawing shoppers since 1972. It's the largest producer-only farmers market in the country, and it's constantly ranked as one of the best in the U.S. to visit. If you're planning a trip to the market on Saturday, we have a guide up at channel3000.com. Madison Magazine breaks down how you can shop smarter and which items are must-buys. And for the first time in almost 20 years, the Milwaukee Bucks are headed to the second round of the NBA playoffs. The Bucks finished a 4-game sweep of the Detroit Pistons last night in Detroit, winning 127-104. Giannis dominated again, scoring 41 points, grabbing 9 rebounds and blocking 4 shots. It's the team's first playoff series win since 2001. Up next is a familiar opponent in the Boston Celtics, who knocked the Bucks out of the playoffs last year. The person believed to have won one of the largest Powerball jackpots in history plans to claim their prize right now. Let's take a live look at the Wisconsin Revenue Building. That's where the announcement is taking place. The winning ticket is estimated at $768.4 million. That's the largest prize amount in state history and the third largest in U.S. lottery history. It was sold at a Speedway gas station in New Berlin almost a month ago. Our Rose Schmidt is there now, and we'll have updates later today on News 3 Now. I can't wait to find out who it is. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Way before the South Beach diet and the paleo diet, there was another famous diet. What was it, and what made it so popular? Stick around. Way before anyone heard of the South Beach and paleo diets, Dr. James Salisbury was touting a diet that was high in protein. One of the dishes that he not only made at home, but also made famous was Salisbury steak. Since it took place in the late 1800s, it proves that everything old, sooner or later, becomes new again. So let me share with you a simple weeknight version of Dr. Salisbury's creation that I know you're gonna love. All we do is combine some ground chuck with a chopped onion, a good amount of breadcrumbs, an egg, and a few off-the-shelf spices. After we gently mix that, we shape it into oval patties and place them in a baking dish. Now, to give these their rich flavor, we smother them with some beef gravy that we combine with some sliced mushrooms. About 45 minutes before it's time to eat, pop these in the oven, and by the time you open your mail and heat up some mashed potatoes, dinner is done. One forkful, and it's no wonder why these are still popular after all these years. It's comfort at its best. So, to salute the late Dr. Salisbury and to keep your taste buds happy, why don't you go online and get the recipe for our weeknight Salisbury steak so you can enjoy a goof-proof dinner any night of the week. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an old-fashioned, trendy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. We're getting a little break from the storms today. We're going to see plenty of sunshine with highs in the mid-60s, but showers return to the forecast tomorrow. Chris Reese will have all the details next in his first alert forecast. We have breaking news, and from the Channel 3000 Alert Center, you are looking at the newest multimillionaire in Wisconsin. This is Manuel Franco from West Allis. He's 24 years old, and he is the winner of the $768 million Powerball jackpot that was from last month. He bought it at it was just a quick trip ticket that he bought. He's 24 years old again from West Allis. Manuel Franco is the winner of the Powerball jackpot. Let's check Wall Street now at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 159 points. The NASDAQ up 96. The S&P 500 up 25. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Jahnke. It wasn't you or me because we're here.
No, and I don't know him either, so I guess I'm out.
Everybody knows him now.
Yeah, exactly. I bet he picked up a whole lot of friends just now, as a matter of fact. Well, good for him. I'll lean on the weather for the good news I'm trying to find today. And it has been some good news for a lot of folks in Wisconsin as of Sunday night. According to the Wisconsin Ag Statistical Service, we had about 8% of our spring tillage work that was done, 10% of our oats in the ground, 7% of our Wisconsin potatoes have already been planted, about 46% of our winter wheat called good to excellent. So that's some of the positive news that we're hearing from Wisconsin farmers. It's not happening everywhere, though. There are farmers west of the Twin Cities in Minnesota that said it's still going to be another 2 to 3 weeks before the snow is gone and the ground is warm enough for them to get started with spring planting. Same situation for those farmers in North and South Dakota where nothing has really turned. So the market's paying some attention to that. Now, I got to tell you, our soybeans are down hard on the midday. What we're hearing is that China has already started to turn some of its soybean buying business to South America. We're down about 14% compared to a year ago when it comes to China and its business. So that's where the news is really focused in right now. We're just not finding any support for our soybeans. And of course, a lot of farmers still have yet to finally confirm what they're going to grow. Is it going to be corn? Is it going to be soybeans? So like I said, it's a story that's in play. Also today, the dollar is exceptionally strong. It's as high as we've seen since June of 2017. When the dollar goes up, that means our commodities are definitely at a disadvantage when it comes to world marketplace. Dairy product prices for today in Chicago. Barrel cheese was unchanged at $157.50. 40-pound block cheese down a quarter at $167.25. Double A butter on a Tuesday finishes down 3/4 cent at $226.25. So like I said, I guess you gotta play to win. I don't play very much, so I'll take the weather as my consolation gift today, Mark.
I think we're all a winner in that department, at least for today.
Right.
All right, Pam, thank you. Here is
Yeah.
Chris now with that forecast. Looking good out there.
That's right, Mark, looking very good. What a difference 24 hours makes as well. We are seeing some cooler temperatures, but also sunny skies. I do want to start with the high temperatures that we saw yesterday. On Sunday, we saw those highs in the 80s. Some folks hit 80 again on Monday, particularly Janesville. 81 for you guys, 80 over in Kenosha. We were still at 77 here in town. But then the clouds rolled in, those showers and storms rolled in, and honestly, depending on how you take thunderstorms, it made for a rather beautiful night. Now, we're now on a colder note. If you have not stepped outside yet today, it's cooler out there by 15 degrees here in town, 18 degrees cooler as you work your way over towards Janesville, but it is still absolutely beautiful, a little breezy as well. 52 for Janesville, Mineral Point at 59, Boscobel coming in at 60 degrees at this noontime hour. And I do want to show this. This is actually showing just how that cloud cover has swept on out of town, leaving the crystal blue skies that we have out there behind it. Wow, go ahead and soak that in. Winds are coming out of the north at 12 miles per hour, by the way. So when I mentioned it's breezy, yes, it is just a little bit breezy out there. But again, all free and clear of any kind of shower or thunderstorm activity across the state of Wisconsin. Those showers and thunderstorms are now more so well to the east across parts of southern Canada, along with western Pennsylvania and New York as we speak right now. High pressure, folks, is staying in control as we go through the next couple of days. That is going to keep that sunshine around and those temperatures comfortable as well. Let's go ahead and show you this afternoon. We'll top out right around 64. A little chilly tonight, but still about where we should be for this time of the year. We're going to see those lows fall to the low 40s and the upper 30s. Watch the winds, though, starting to turn out of the south as we go into Wednesday. This is where our temperatures are going to begin to respond and get a bit warmer. We're talking 66 for your highs on Wednesday. Into Thursday, though, more rain chances begin to arrive. This is where we go into a pattern known as a baroclinic zone. And you're asking me, what is that? Well, that's something out of a meteorology textbook, but essentially this is a region of distinct temperature contrast. The separation between the warm air and the cold air, often separated by the jet stream. And so these regions are favorable for storm development. So watch the jet stream as we go into the weekend. You have the cold air to the north, the warm air towards the south. Watch how that jet stream really rides over the upper Midwest. This is a bear clinic zone. So now let me put a model on top of that and watch how we have several rain chances coming our way. The first one Thursday. Here's Friday and into Saturday. That's rain, perhaps some snow in the northern half of the state with that one. Monday into Tuesday, another rain chance comes through. Wednesday into Thursday, another rain chance comes through. And then Thursday into Friday, another rain chance comes through. This is our weather pattern, folks, and that's also going to be keeping temperatures on a colder than average note for a large chunk of the next 6 to 10 days. But then eventually we'll see those temperatures coming back towards average. So it's not going to be terrible, but things are going to be rainy for quite a bit in that forecast, and we'll have some days with highs in the 40s and 50s.
Big change.
Yeah, it's the roller coaster ride of spring that we like to call it.
That's what we have.
Yes.
All right, Chris, thank you. Coming up on News 3 Now at noon, dietitian Michelle Swader is here to answering your health and diet questions. 270-9933, the number to call. We'll get to your questions right after this. Michelle Swader is taking your calls at 270-9933, diet and nutrition questions. Probiotics, there's some new thoughts on that.
Yes, so a lot of people want to get probiotics from their food. It's bacteria that we eat that does good things for us, so we want them to populate our health, our gut. But I have 3 rules. One is that you want to make sure that it is an unpasteurized or a raw or cold product. Once you buy that jar of sauerkraut, it's still tasty, but you're not having the probiotic effect anymore. Second, once you do eat healthy bacteria, you want to continue eating healthy and feed those bacteria. So you want to eat your plant foods, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. The last one's kind of tricky. A lot of people will buy kombucha and yogurt for the healthy probiotic effect, but a lot of those products have a lot of sugar in them. And sugar is actually something that's not great for your gut health. And so you're actually feeding the bad bacteria at the same time you're trying to give good bacteria. And so sometimes you can cancel out those effects.
So plain yogurt?
Plain yogurt would be great. Or add maybe your own fruit in order to give it some flavor if you don't really like the flavor of plain yogurt.
All right. And supplement? I mean, they sell just the probiotics.
Right, and that's usually if you have an issue above and beyond just wanting to be healthy. And so a lot of times after somebody's on antibiotics or is sick, they will get a dose, which is a lot more concentrated number of colonies of bacteria to help kind of repopulate that gut.
But we need the bacteria. It's good
yes,
for
we
us.
do. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Bob in Madison. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
I got a question about I eat 3 meals a day, but I lose weight all the time.
So I obviously don't know the rest of your health history to see if there's something else going on.
I do have cirrhosis of the liver.
Okay. So you could try having, depending on your appetite, you can try doing some extra snacks in the middle there. You'd want to get your snacks to be a mix of protein and fat, not too much protein because of the liver, and just try to sneak maybe some extra olive oil on your salad, some healthy fat sources, and that will be a good source of calories. So other sources would be nuts and avocado, like I said, the olive oil.
So snacks in between.
Yeah, and it's the healthy fats are a good way to sneak in some extra calories.
Protein's hard on the liver?
It can be if you have a lot. For most healthy people, it's not a concern, but liver is one of the things that you want to watch for if you have issues with your liver.
All right, let's go to David in Mineral Point. Hi, David.
Hi, I have a question about, she was talking about probiotics, and I take Foragen 3, and my question is, if you take it every day, do you take it every day, or is there a stopping period where you shouldn't be taking it anymore?
Well, that's a really good question, and unfortunately, it's one that we don't have a lot of answers to yet. Supplemental probiotics are still kind of a question. Part of it depends on why you're taking it. Like I mentioned, if you were taking antibiotics for a short term, and you just need to repopulate that bacteria, once your GI system gets back to normal, you could probably stop taking it. If you tend to have a chronic condition, like an irritable bowel syndrome or just constant GI issues, that might be something that you would need to take on a regular basis. So it really depends on the reason that you're taking them in the first place.
Can you take too many? Too much?
You could possibly take too much, and then you would end up with GI symptoms like constipation and diarrhea. So if you have questions about whether you should take an actual supplement, I would definitely talk to your doctor and find out which one would be maybe more appropriate for you.
It's a delicate balance.
It is very delicate.
We're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Michelle will talk to you off the air. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
See you next month. Chris has one final check of the forecast.
A beautiful day out there, Mark. We're going to keep the sunshine around for most of today, most of your Wednesday as well. Even into Thursday, we'll see some sunshine. But Thursday afternoon, the shower and thunderstorm chances do return, and that's going to set the stage for a pretty active pattern as we go really into next week. Rain chances on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and we could see even more rain chances added to the forecast as we go into the end of the 10-day forecast as well. So buckle up as things get active. Enjoy the next couple of sunny days.
April showers. All right, Chris, thank you. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.